Hey guys, are you doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Leona Mutiga. Karibuni sana. So today we have another interesting vlog. The first plant that we'll be looking at is the maize plant. How do you plant your maize? All the way, what is the requirements until to the time that you harvest? So that is what we will be looking at in this vlog. And today I have notebook to make sure I do not miss out on any point so that you can be the greatest farmers that you want to become. Okay, in the first place, what you do is to prepare your land. I cannot tell a farmer how to prepare your land. Make sure your land has no weeds. If you have some animal manure that you can put to your farm, that is the time you collect it and take it to the farm. Yeah, that is how you prepare your land generally. And from there, now after you've prepared your land to plant some maize, that is now when you begin the planting process. The first thing that you do is you dig your holes in rows. You make sure your holes are digged in holes. Maybe the difference between one one row to the other row, it should be around 2 feet. Yeah, but you can use your you can use any type of spacing according to your preference. It's not a must, it's 2 feet. Yeah, and from that, after you dig your holes. Now it's when you plant. You start by putting in your fertilizer in that hole that you have dug. You put in your fertilizer, and then you cover that fertilizer with little soil. Then you put the maize. After you put in the maize, you cover the entire hole. Okay, now the key point there is which type of fertilizer should you use during your planting process. Now there are various types of fertilizers that you can buy while you want to start the maize planting process. But first, I'll advise you to use fertilizer that has some nitrogen in it. This is because nitrogen promotes leaf growth, which is important for photosynthesis. We all know that the leaves are the one that manufacture the food for the plant through the process known as photosynthesis. So the fertilizer that you'll use while planting should be rich in nitrogen. The second thing that should be in your fertilizer is phosphorus. Phosphorus is essential for the root growth and development. Okay, so make sure the fertilizer that you're using has some phosphorus in it. And the third thing that should be in your fertilizer is potassium, which helps regulate water content. The amount of water in the soil is regulated using that. So make sure while reading on the what a fertilizer entails, make sure it has some nitrogen, it has some phosphorus, it has some potassium, and some zinc, which help in early development. Zinc helps your maize plant in the early development. Okay, so again, we did something on soil pH. Yeah, and if your soil pH is higher than 7.8, make sure the fertilizer that you will plant with has some iron in it. I'll repeat that. If your soil pH is more than 7.8, make sure the fertilizer that your plants with has some iron. The quantity that you put in the soil depends on how fertile your soil is. How fertile is that soil? If you have less fertile soil, you put in you put in a more quantity compared to compared to the farmer whose farm is fertile. Yeah, someone will ask, if your farm has manure and if your farm is fertile, I'll recommend that you use one bottle top of the drinking water. There's the small tiny bottle top of drinking water. That is what you can use that to measure your fertilizer, and it will really be helpful for you. If you have infertile soil, make sure you use the double that fertilizer the normal farmer with the fertile soil is using. Okay. After that, I hope you're in a place that has some water. If you're planning to do irrigation, make sure you have some water with you. You have enough water that you'll use. And if you're planning to wait for the rains, make sure you plant during the season when it's about to rain. Understood? Those that have water for irrigation, you can plant anytime because you'll be doing your irrigation by yourself. Those that wait for the rains, make sure the time that you're planting your maize, it's around the season when it rains. After your maize has grown approximately maybe 2 feet, it's when you do the top dressing. Yes. And top dressing can be done using three types of fertilizer. I'll go through them quickly. The first one is urea. The second one is calcium ammonium nitrate. The third one is ammonium nitrate. And when you'll be doing the top dressing, you put your fertilizer in a row along the rows that you've planted your maize, and make sure it is around the stem of the maize. After that, you dig with a what can I call it, a zembe, yeah, or you can use a panga. You dig around the stem to make sure that you add in some soil to the base of your stem. This helps the maize to have that, to be firm, so that even when they grow tall and there is there is wind, they will not fall. Okay, that is a very key step. Another thing, as a farmer, always make sure your farm is free from weeds, because weeds compete with your maize plant for the nutrients in the soil, and therefore you will not have healthy maize, or you will not harvest as much as you will have harvested if your farm didn't have the weeds. Another thing to take care of nowadays, there are various ways of farming. Yeah, there are those that prefer the manual farming using a djembe, or using what else can you use, using the machines. And there is also the chemical way. There are chemicals that are really doing well in the removal of weeds in the farm. So it's you to study which type of weeds are in your farm, then go buy a relevant chemical that will help in the removal of those weeds. Okay, what else haven't I mentioned? And maize plantation is that easy, guys. The only after you've done your top dressing, your farm has no weeds, you just wait for the maize harvesting time, and that is when you harvest and have that and get the profits that you will be looking for. What have I not made? I don't think there's something that I've not mentioned. And if in case there's something that I've left out, maybe someone can ask in the comment section, and I'll be glad to answer you, yes, on the question that you will be having. Thank you so much, guys, for staying tuned till the end of the vlog. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, share, hit that notification bell so that each and every time I'll be uploading, you'll be notified. Bye bye.